Welcome to another episode of FYM with Ty and Yo. That's my man
Yep,
Ty. I'm
yep.
Yo. It's our special live stream episode that we do bi-weekly now. How you feeling, Ty?
I'm feeling good, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The summer towards the end.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And going into football season.
Football season. It's funny, man. I had
Yeah,
connected Ty with somebody recently and they hit me and it was like, I didn't know Ty was a full-blown sports agent. Like they
oh
had
yeah,
no idea that you was in that life. So tell
oh
me,
yeah.
Todd, we're in preseason with the NFL. How does it feel from that side of things, from the sports agent side, to be getting into preseason?
I mean, preseason is tricky, man, because when you got clients that didn't get drafted, but they end up getting picked up under
Mhm.
undrafted free agent contracts. They got to make the 53-man roster, baby. You know what I'm saying? They go to training
Mhm.
camp with 90. So these preseason games, there's two things that happen to these during these preseason games. One, you can earn your spot on that 53-man roster. Two, right? Two positive things, should I say? And you get a lot of film, other teams that'll see you perform because you don't always get cut because you're bad. They have to
Mhm.
narrow it down to 53 people. It is what it is.
Mhm.
So preseason give young players the opportunity to get filmed to be able to land on another team if they get cut, or to get on the practice squad on another team if they get cut.
Mhm.
But it's a great time to be alive. I head to the Vikings game on Saturday, baby.
How do you communicate with your with the talent in terms of letting them know like, hey, this is preseason, you still have a chance to get on the team? Like, what are the conversations like?
Well, I don't even really think about the preseason. This is time to get on the team. I'm just like, man, just go out and ball. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like when you're a professional, and it's like this in any sport that you are a highly paid professional. You
Right.
don't have a lot of redos, right? When you go out and you perform live, like we was talking about the Clips concert that's going on tomorrow. When they go out, that's one take. Like
Mhm.
they start fumbling over rap lyrics. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
rehearse. So it's the same thing about players. Like you might get only
Mhm.
25 reps. You got to make those 25 reps your best 25 reps of the day.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I mostly just I just talk to them about, being great. I mean, it's kind of unfair because you can't go viral and make a team,
Mhm.
when it comes to football. Music has such a advantage, disadvantage because they can go viral and if they know every label is calling you.
Right.
So you don't necessarily got to work hard. You're not making it in no professional sport if you're not working hard. I don't give a fuck how
At
talented you
all.
are,
At
right?
all.
And so I find myself being able to be a lot more honest to sports clients because they know what the reality are. What the reality is. But with music clients, they're a little bit more, you know, touchy on they sensitive about their art.
It's sensitive about their art. Yeah, sports is not the same type of art. It's a craft. It's a
Right.
craft. It requires a
Yes.
great amount of discipline. Man, the Falcons' first preseason game had an injury.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
that?
The
I
Lions.
Yes, I
Yeah.
thought the show of camaraderie, letting the time run out on that last fourth quarter, because the Falcons was down like 7 points. It was still 12 minutes left. It was on a tackle that the injury happened, and
Yeah.
they pretty much stopped the entire game. And I just want to ask Ty, like, although it's intense, like, how is the camaraderie in football compared to like other sports, you think?
Um, Man, so football, there's a lot of players, right?
Hmm.
You're going into camp, with 90 players. You're going into preseason, it's 90 players. So that's a lot of personalities that you gotta mesh with, work with, get along with. Then you have seniorities, you have the veterans, you have,
Hmm.
superstars. Because you got veterans and then you got the superstars. You know what I'm saying? Then you
Yeah.
got your rookies. right? The
Yeah.
veterans are really like the middle class citizens, right? Where they got 2 or 3 years of service. They not really the superstars, but they really the meat and potatoes of like making sure the team is successful. And so the camaraderie is a real brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
played football, so like you feel like those are your brothers. So when somebody get hurt, even if it's on another team, nobody want to really see that because we're not playing this sport to die. You know what I'm saying? Even though there is very high chances of you getting extremely hurt, um, and not it's dying is it can be a very extreme, but it's on the board. With the wrong
Mhm.
hit, you can be paralyzed. You can
Mhm.
break your leg in the wrong way, bleed out. Like it's really, really a harsh sport. So I think being that it's so harsh, it drives people to like players to closer than
Mhm.
you might have on other sports.
That makes sense to me. I mean, no one wants to think about worst case scenario, but every time you hike the ball, it's bodies flying at each other. Like the intensity is there versus golf, Ty, where it's not intense. It's not like a contact sport.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
you play golf now, Ty, probably more often than you have in the past. What is the difference between Ty, the football player, and Ty, the golfer?
The football player was just aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like I was undersized, so being aggressive really worked in my favor. It doesn't work in my favor nowadays in business, but sometimes it do. It just depends. You know what I'm saying? But with golf today, it's not really about being aggressive more so than it's about you know technique. Even though it's football, you need technique in all sports, but being aggressive in golf is gonna just have you slicing and not really and getting out of technique and getting mad at yourself and
Mhm.
throwing clubs, almost like some Happy Gilmore shit.
Yeah. Do
You
you
know what I
feel
mean?
like it has taught you anything about patience?
Oh yeah, yeah, 1,000%. I mean, when you get into golfing, people will say it's that one shot through that 18 hole round that brings you back because
Mm.
you're constantly. None of us are pros. You know what I'm saying? All of
Mhm.
us are terrible. Everybody not
Yeah.
scratch golfers that's shooting, 67s or 70s, where they can go and actually compete and win money on a pro level to some degree. We're terrible. We're just trying to beat our friends,
Mhm.
in that sense, trying to get below, a 80 score, having a 8 or 9 handicap. Like we just trying to make sure that we can do that. And most people are not gonna get that. I only been playing for like a little bit under 2.5 years, so
Mhm.
I'm too competitive to be sorry in anything. If I'm gonna spend time doing it, that ain't gonna work.
I feel that.
Like
Have you
I'm not like I'm not gonna be sorry in my relationship. I'm gonna be as competitive in everything I spend time in. I
in
refuse.
everything? But have you seen LeBron has took up golf
Yeah, yeah,
recently?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Watching LeBron golf on the clips and stuff is interesting because LeBron a big guy, man. So I'll be trying to figure out like what clubs you niggas got. Like your clubs got to be long as a mug. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's funny.
you 6'9", 6'10". It's this one guy that's like 6'11". That's like I think his Instagram is like tallest golfer. But bro
Tallest
be
golfer.
striking it though. Tallest
For real?
golfer. He be striking though.
That's crazy.
He be striking.
Why do you think golf is like a great off-season sport?
First of all, the camaraderie, you can have fun, you reduce your chance of getting injured,
Mhm.
as far as in like other sports that you do, even if you're playing what you're doing, basketball, you're playing off-season basketball, just doing some runs. And I think it's really a really great conversation. So if you want to spend a good amount of time with somebody, you go golfing with them because a nine hole round is going to take you about 2.5 hours. A full 18 rounds is going to take you 4 hours. So you out on the course with somebody with 4 hours, and y'all talking about if y'all never spent time together, this might be the first time you learn a lot about the individual while having some friendly competition,
Mhm.
on the course.
I mean, it always stood out to me that The side story in Space Jam is Michael Jordan golfing. Like
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
like a
that's funny.
whole kind of like plot
Right.
point in the
Right.
movie. And I mean, growing up, I knew Tiger Woods, but I didn't really understood why, if you're not a professional, why would you golf? Like Michael Jordan was like one of the greatest basketball players ever. Why are you golfing? For what reason?
Right.
But then as I got an older side, I've noticed that a lot of successful people or people in sports or people in business, they golf. And it's not necessarily to be the greatest golfer in the world, but to your point, like you spend time out there on the green, you meet a lot of other people who work in business or adjacent to the businesses that you work in. So it's a lot of community building that I think happens in golf. And
Yeah.
it's not like inexpensive. I saw some golf tees the other day that's like $700. It's like, goddamn.
Yeah. I mean, the truth of the matter is, if you're a businessman or woman and you're successful, if you can be good at golf, it's a flex too. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? If you go out and you good, people are like, oh wow, like you're actually good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
it's
it's a
impressive.
flex. So if you're a business person, you're aggressive and you driven to try to be the best version of yourself,
Hmm.
it's a flex.
It's a flex.
Yeah, you get good at it, it's a flex, 1000%.
I see it. I see it. I mean, I think right now I'm noticing a lot of people in different industries are kind of like going to different fields. Like LeBron golfing, he's not trying to be professional, but it's cool to watch him golf. But then we
Right.
saw a clip earlier this week with Tusi, the rapper, talking about working to be a D1 athlete in football. And I want to ask you, Todd, like, how difficult is it to be a D1 athlete at 25 years old?
It'll be rare.
Rare.
If you got a team that will give you the opportunity, I mean, obviously, Bruh can go pay for school and walk on.
Hmm.
Like he don't have to have no scholarship. If he's that serious about it, he can say, "Yo, I'm finna go enroll, and I'm only going to enroll into the school that's going to allow me to walk on."
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He can walk on and earn a scholarship, which
Hmm.
would be a crazy story if Tusi walks on and earn a scholarship at a D1 school.
Yeah. But I guess I'm just trying to comprehend, like, even if it wasn't him, let's say it wasn't someone that was famous, right? Like, how difficult is that feat?
I mean, football, man, it's 25 years old. You got some players that if they go, let's say they go to school, they get drafted when they are basically, let's say they go to school for 3 years, which they have to. So they're going to get drafted. Let me see, they're going to be 18, 19, 19, 21. So they're probably going to get drafted between 21, 22, give or take, 23 at the max if they only been in school in 3 years. If they go to school all 4 years, and let's say they had an injury, but they've been in college for 5 years, I mean, they're pretty much getting drafted when they're 24, 25. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if you go to school at 25, if you go to college at 25 and you really nice and you go and you fucking go ball out the first season, I mean, you can be going into the draft the next year depending on if you're really that nice. But
Wow.
it's just all about, are you really that nice at 25?
Yeah.
And what have you been doing between 19 and 25 that
Yeah.
make you that nice?
Right. I feel you. I mean, I guess for me, Ty, I think a lot about music, and music is a field where they say it's a young person's game, but realistically, you can be creative and have artistic vision at any age. But when it comes
Yeah.
to sports, it seems like it's way more difficult to think about it as the older you get. Like, can I actually play at a high level in a professional kind of way?
Yeah. I think trying to play at a high level of sport at a later age when you're playing football,
Hmm.
I mean, you have some people that kind of get their first break at 25, 26, 27 in the NFL. But man, that's a tough, like contact sport is just wild, you
Yeah.
know, because you see basketball players play 10, 15 years if they're
Years.
good
Yeah.
and they can
Yeah.
and they can avoid the injuries. So it's like, I don't know, man. I think at some point you have to kind of decide on like what kind of life you're gonna live. You know what I'm saying? If you're
Hmm.
pursuing being a musician at 28, 29 years old, not really something that you got a lifespan on, right? Like you don't got a
Hmm.
life restriction on like you would like with a sport. I remember I met a woman while I was in Sweden who talked about her daughter did all the research that which Olympic sport that she could um probably win a gold medal in at the age of like 26.
Wow.
And so it pulled up a whole bunch of things. I think it was like this some kind of marathon, like an Iron Woman marathon type of thing where she could win a gold medal if she started training now because of her age. And I thought that was hilarious that people are
That's
still
so
trying to
funny.
be pros and really
Hmm.
compete as like extreme like athletes. You win a gold medal, most of the stuff it takes a lot of work. You know what I'm saying?
Extreme amount of work. It's like trying to break a world record in a way.
Right. Nah, I'm straight.
But I mean, like Ty, you deciding to be a talent agent. You don't really see that being the same thing or in the same kind of thought process.
Nah, I just gotta use my brain.
But I mean,
I
just
gotta
your
use my
passion
brain.
for it being like, hey, I'm about to turn. I think you were about to turn 40, right? When you decided to take the test,
Yeah,
or you
so
were
I
39.
took so I was 30. I took the test in 2023.
Hmm.
Um, but you gotta realize, like, when I realized that I wasn't gonna go to the NFL, I was like, man, I would love to be a sports agent. But I didn't really have a mentor to like guide me. So I just was like letting life kind of like take me different places. But I started studying for like sports agency tests and getting like kind of preparing myself in 2017. I started doing the research in 2015, 16, then I started studying. And then in 2019, that's when I went and enrolled to get my master's so that I can even be eligible to take the test on the NFL side. So that was I got certified the summer of 2023. So like 19, 20, 21, 22. So that's 4 years of me actually preparing just to be able to take the test.
Hmm.
So now I'm going into my recruiting season for my third draft. You know what I'm saying? So we got one player on the Bucks, got one on the Vikings, got one on the Rams, and then we got a few other guys we trying to make sure they get some jobs. You know what I mean? So I prepared for it for a while. It wasn't just making a decision and then you talk about me planning my whole life.
Hmm. But during that preparation period, did you ever feel like I'm too old to be doing this, or you always felt like you were right on time?
Now I never really thought about age in terms of like representing of talent. Like I was already representing talent. So I just looked at it as just diversifying, right?
Hmm.
Like we're gonna diversify to represent DJs, we're gonna diversify and represent athletes, we're gonna
Hmm.
diversify and represent podcast hosts. Like we just got diversified. That's how I looked at it. This is another way to diversify the business. Just so happened being something like sports, where I think if you talk about a household
Hmm.
and you got a mom, a dad, a daughter, or a son, like there's somebody in the household that's a sports fan, and there's somebody in the household that's a music fan. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So
Yeah.
I'm just looking at like I'm just diversifying, trying to get more of the household of that income that's going out of the household for the representation of like entertainment when it comes to sports, music, and then media, which is the TV and film side, the content side. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Or the podcast side.
Right. That makes a lot of sense to me. But I think it's a great story for people to understand that like it's about preparation and
Yeah,
execution and not just assuming that I can't do something because I'm at this place in my life or I'm known for doing this thing, so I should stick to this one thing that I'm good at versus thinking about
right.
diversification. Because I do feel the more I talk to like younger people or people like in the middle of their lives, they're looking for the thing that's going to work and only that thing, right? Like the risk part is the part that I see a lot of people kind of shy away from in
Right.
comparison to being like, I'll try something new because I'm prepared for it.
Yeah, I mean the work, what's gonna work and what's not gonna work, it just depends on what your definition of success looks like, you
Mm,
know? Because a person can say, you know what, I've been a accounting for the last 20 years. now I want to go into AI engineering,
Hmm.
right? And they're like, this AI shit so early that they might be right at the pinnacle of being involved in what the new iteration of AI engineering or just engineering will look like with now the systems of AI, right?
Hmm.
Where now they don't even have to have the same skill sets that a traditional engineer will have to have. They might have to
Right.
have more of a foresight in how future, systems will be built and what that looks like as an AI, or AI engineer.
Hmm.
But once again, that is that can work. Now, how much money you gonna make versus how much you used to make, it just all depends on why you want to transition into those different things. But
Hmm.
that's just, that's like the daily news, right? Like when you look at people look at things every day and they have if they're not fulfilled, they're like, man, I wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah.
Then the next day come, they see something else. Hey man, I wouldn't mind doing that. It's like a daily news of people that are just like pump faking themselves on what they think they want to do because we're getting so much content pushed out to us on a daily basis about what everybody else is doing. If
I
I
feel
if
you.
I looked at social media every day and I be like, oh, I want to do that too. Oh, I want to do that too. I would never have traction anywhere.
Mm.
Yeah, I wouldn't have no traction.
Does it keep you from being distracted by not being on it every day?
Um, I mean, I'm just a hard nigga to get distracted, bro. I be on a mission. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
I be really be trying to like figure it out because I feel like we are in a very sensitive time with like the way AI is happening, the way blockchain and crypto is happening, the way that the world is becoming more like global, the way that wellness becoming like important, where you can actually build like a wellness hotel that can be popular and it's a
Mhm.
global thing, like the renewable energy moments that's happening right now. I mean, you remember the kid that they thought had got kidnapped that was turning plastic into in the gas?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like, that's where we're going. We're going into a place with inventors and like what people feel like is well. I know we talked about the guy with they got caught at the Coldplay stuff. Like
Oh
people
yeah.
are just looking to have more positive, healthy experiences. So they're
Mhm.
championing wellness, they're championing renewable energy, they're championing healthy relationships in general. They don't care if you like men, women, they don't care. They're are like, are you happy? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
People that are just wanting to see happiness. People are not even into like all this sad ass music anymore. You start listening to the music that's being successful, like is people are having more fun. People want to dance, and from those different aspects of things.
No, you're not wrong. But I do think it's interesting to your point about how social media shows you so much that it can make you feel like you gotta chase every kind of happiness. Oh, they happy over there at SeaWorld. I gotta go to SeaWorld. They happy at Six Flags. I gotta go to Six Flags. It's
Like,
like
those people not doing none of that.
it increases, I think, FOMO if you're looking for happiness. If you haven't decided what will make you happy, I do think you can be looking at a lot of different versions of happiness and maybe haven't decided what that is for you yet.
Man, I'm just really big on being obedient to God, bro. I
I
feel
hate that.
like if I stay obedient to God, I'm gonna get where I need to go in life. You know what I'm saying? It's like this give or take, right? Let's say me and you in a village and you
Mhm,
say, hey man, I'll take you to work every day. You know what I'm saying? If you cut my grass every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
mhm,
that barter. So when I think about my relationship with God, I'm like, man, God, I'm gonna be obedient to you. And then my heart is gonna have these different desires, right? And
mhm,
everything that I desire is not coming to life, right? But it's the things that I work towards and that I put the seed in and I support and I just have faith with it that it's going to happen. And when it started happening, it doesn't even matter if it happened on a smaller scale. I'm
mhm.
just so excited that I'm seeing the seed grow, right? It doesn't even matter if it hasn't changed my life. It'd be the smallest things for me. I'd be like, oh man, this is so great. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm able to like really be able to have this experience, have that experience. And it's all being through like living a very transparent, non-toxic lifestyle while still being able to like help people, educate people, be nice to people, from that perspective. Obviously, I'm not perfect, so I might come off a little sticky at times when it comes to like people feelings and shit like that. But I try to be a good human and make sure like that if I got information, I'm trying to share it, or if I got resources, I'm trying to share it. I had a few. It's crazy because it seemed like the day like this past 7 days when I was out on vacation. I got a lot of like young students that's in college that was raising money for like different causes. Like, their high school needed some shoulder pads or like, that these kids, it's just they were just raising money for different things. I just found myself like paying like donating money all week doing my wellness off time, which was
Mm,
super, super like, not only insightful, but it was really gratifying. You know what I'm saying? And so I just believe that, we live through all of these different FU moments or
mm,
these different, I want to get my life to look like this, or I want my life to look like that. But I think that, when it's all said and done, finding a way to be transparent with yourself and the people that's in your community, building community, right? And then actually being obedient to God and having a real strong spiritual relationship so that your worldly adventures will come off as that it just happened. But in actuality, you was always working behind the scenes to kind of really truly get the best result while we're here because we only got one life, one vessel, one timeline. We can't live multiple timelines. This is not the Matrix.
mm. I thought about you recently because I was watching a movie called The Hustler. It's like an older film, but it's about a pool shark. This guy named Fast Eddie, and Fast Eddie feels like he is the best pool player in the world, and he picks this guy, Minnesota Fats. He's like, yo,
Oh,
I can beat Fats. I know it. So he goes to the pool hall. He's like, tonight I'm gonna make $10,000 off Fats, right? Fats is like, all right, let's play. They're playing straight pool. So they playing $200 a game to start, right? But once Eddie makes $1,000, he's like, let's play $1,000 a game. Eddie gets to $10,000. Eddie's manager is like, hey, we got the money. Let's go. He's like, nah. I'm gonna keep playing pool until Fats tells me I'm the best. So they keep playing. He gets up to $14,000. They keep playing. He gets up to $18,000. They've been playing for like 15 hours straight. He starts drinking. He starts popping shit, Ty. He's popping big shit. I'm the best you ever seen. I'm the best as ever was. Like he's popping it, Ty. He's popping it. They fast forward 25 hours. He has $200 in his pocket now.
mm,
He looks terrible, Ty. He looks disheveled. He looks drunk. And Minnesota Fats looks clean as fuck, bro. Clean. Like he just played one game, not hundreds of games. So they fast forward, and Fast Eddie's at a bar, and a guy comes up to him and says, I saw the game that you played last week. You're probably the best pool player I've ever seen. And he says, you got talent. He said, well, if I got talent, why did I lose? He said, character. You don't
mm.
got no character, bro. He said Minnesota Fats got more character in his finger than your entire body. Ty, when I saw that, I thought about you. I really did, because I was like,
Crazy.
you always talk about like how important it is to have great character, how you want to be on the HOV lane of improving your character. And when I watched that movie, I thought about how like people sometimes think talent is enough. I'm so talented, I should be rich. I'm so talented, I should be famous. I'm talented, I should have these
Right,
things. But
right.
like character is a factor. I
Oh
think
man.
having like great discipline builds character, but I also think having a great relationship with God, right? Being in tune to something higher than you also builds character.
Yes, 1,000%.
Um, so
Don't
I just
get me
wanted to
started
share
on
that.
character.
So,
Don't get me started on character, man. Because I work in a
well,
business where character is fleeting. You understand? So
I thought about that when it comes to like music specifically, because again, it's a different level of character than sports, right? I think
right.
sports builds character a little differently because you got to show up for practice, you got to show up for games, you got to show up for certain kind of things. Like showing up to the studio, showing up for concerts is not the same thing as having to play every Sunday, right? It's not the
Uh,
same thing, but you can make it that, right? You can make the studio your arena. You can make your concerts your big games. You know, you can decide that.
Yeah.
But I just think it's interesting seeing a lot of examples of great character and also fleeting character that makes me think about what is necessary for success, right?
Right.
And
So think about it from this perspective, right?
mhm,
You build character in sports. You're forced to build character in sports because sports is about the system.
mhm,
It's hard to force someone to build character in music because music is about the character, right?
yeah,
So that's what music is about, the character.
yeah,
Like sports is not about the character. Sports is about the system. So that
mhm,
means that the players, no matter if it's the coach or the actual players, they have to abide by a system. Versus on music, everybody is abiding by a character. So if that character says toxic environments are the move, now everybody trying to be young, they trying to get on. So maybe we toxic.
yeah.
Man,
Cause you said that's the move, so
because
now
that's
it's
the
the move.
character.
Yeah,
That's it. Because the character is the music. The character is pretty much the system. But if
yeah,
that character say, "Nah, we ain't rocking like that. We're gonna pray before our rehearsals. We're gonna pray after our. We're gonna pray before and after every one of our shows. Everybody gonna be on time. We not rocking. Everybody gonna be like, you rocking. We on time. Why you late?
yeah.
It's a whole nother different thing. And I think that's why it's so many people in the music business that don't have character because there's a lot of artists that are not they don't have character, and the
And,
people that are guiding them at times don't have character.
oh, they'll sacrifice character because there isn't a system for building character. It's like, oh, we'll follow what this characteristic is for today. If it's
Yeah.
making money or if it's making clicks, engagements, whatever's going to get us to the next level, I'll accept it versus being like, we're not going for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing to work in this business. So, especially from a management perspective. So, you have to depend on. Okay, just think about working in a business where you have to depend on character in a
Mhm.
place that you know that character is fleeting. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you gotta pray that somebody says, nah, man. I remember 6 years ago when I didn't have nothing. I remember 3 years ago when I was broken down on the side of the road, and this man really stopped and like not only helped me change my tire, but like they put me in the car, they called help, and like I was like so confused why they was helping me. Man, motherfuckers, I ain't forgetting about that. They up. They don't. A year later, they went viral on TikTok. Now they moving. They ain't there. Like they don't forgot about having flat tires. That was too traumatic in their life. They erased that part. They erased that part of their life. They don't even want to remember being that traumatic because it was so hard to get to this place of success now with music. So they don't forgot every single part of that world because it was traumatic.
I did read something about that, like how people's memory during like depressive periods will have lapses. Like there's gaps
Yeah,
in memory when people are depressed because
yeah,
they don't want to remember.
yeah. I
But
mean,
but sometimes that's what gets you to where you're going. Like you have to kind of get through something and like, you know, I'm working I'm
somebody
working
believe that
on
shit.
I'm working on my Bible right now. I'm working on, what I'm saying, getting the tune at how I want to get in tune. But something that really stuck out to me recently is like the story of Cain and Abel, is that one brother killed another brother because he was jealous of how one brother's relationship with God was. It's
Yeah,
like, dang, bro, you could have just got in line
but
with
you know
God.
that shit be saying, bro.
There- there-
Listen,
there-
man. I'm extremely paranoid by the concept of jealousy.
yeah.
Like that makes me more paranoid than like walking in the hood at night. You know what I'm saying? And any random major like the spirit of jealousy is something that has me extremely paranoid when it comes to working with humans because
Mhm.
you live in a life just with the same amount of hours and time that the next man live a life. I ain't grow up with no dad. I grew up in a single family home. My mama ain't make a lot of money, So like our journey to get whatever I'm gonna achieve is just based off of my spiritual belief and character and work ethic and timing and all of the things, stars of aligning. I didn't I don't people don't necessarily do much different than the next person. Now, if you came from money, that's a different conversation. I'm
Right.
just talking about the average come up for somebody in the United States of America. So the jealousy thing, it's like, um, I don't think that that's a FU moment. You know what I'm saying? I think jealousy
No.
is a way to like really um put yourself in a situation where you're not really as sharp as you need to be to grow your business. You're not as sharp as you need to be to catch the wave on new businesses. Your distraction. Jealousy is just a cold word for distraction. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I think that,
Mhm.
we experience it in ways that we don't even realize it when you are black or brown, male or female, that's really progressing. And sometimes it happens within your own community. So I try to make sure I'm always like, oh no, man, what's up? If I got it and I can share, I try to share, bro. You know what I'm saying? I try to share the platform, I try to share resources, I just try to share because I don't want nobody around me getting no damn jealousy. That shit kind of like, that shit scared the hell out of me. I ain't gonna lie.
I feel you. I mean, I only brought it up because I feel like I think it's a reason why it's so early in the Bible because people are
Yeah.
so easily influenced by seeing someone else have something and their desires will override their own belief system. Um, and that's why I think, like, bro, you can't get no fucking money if you worried about the next man, or if you so caught up in what someone else is doing, you're not gonna get no fucking money. You're not, and you're gonna miss your blessings because there's something waiting for you. It's something for
You
you.
ain't, you ain't gonna get no fuck you education either. Like you
Uh,
ain't gonna get a lot of stuff. You're gonna miss the whole you're gonna miss the whole wagon.
you gonna miss the whole wagon. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Don't
We
miss the
don't
wagon, baby.
we don't want you to miss the wagon here, man. I think these conversations are important for people to make sure you get on the wagon that is for you, that's waiting on you. Because I do believe, I truly do that. Like we're all here for a reason, and it's you, particular for you. It's for you. You got born here. There's something waiting for you, but you got to make sure you attune to what's waiting on you. So
Amen.
that's my word for the day, Ty. That's my Wednesday
Yes,
word.
indeed.
Anything else on your mind, on your heart before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, listen, man, stay prayed up, man. You know what I'm saying? Stay well and uh don't be jealous.
Don't be jealous. That is your word for the day. This is another episode of FIM with Ty and Yo. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.